All right. If you are new to our KV Core Success Meetups, welcome. If you want to join more of these sessions, we do hold them every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And you can go ahead and you can scan the QR code that I've got on my screen right here. I'll also show you where you can go within the platform in KV Core to your training calendar to go and book another session. You can sign up and register for all of the sessions or register for just any one specific one. And we do try to post the topics in our Facebook group as well. So if you're a part of that, you can see ahead of time. We usually post the Friday before what the topics will be. So you can decide for yourself if it's something that you want to partake in. All right. So I mentioned you can scan the QR code or you can head on into KV Core itself, head to our training calendar, and then you'll choose the time zone which best applies to you. And you'll find these sessions every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Do expect some more holiday themed sessions. I believe we're also having an admin week, or if you are an admin running your team, your office, your company, I believe we're going to have some admin sessions coming up. So, some goodies for these success meetups as we continue throughout the rest of the year. So, you can sign up here. And if you're looking for our Facebook discussion group, you can go to Facebook, look at groups for the Inside Real Estate Discussion Group, or there's also a link right here from our training calendar where you can go and sign up there, join our community. And we always try to post, there's usually a little image that we post each Friday of the upcoming topics. If you want to catch our past recordings for success meetups, you can head on over to YouTube or click the button right here to access our Inside Real Estate YouTube channel. So that's where all the recordings get added to. Now, if I haven't introduced myself already, my name is Mariel Ortiz. I'm a product trainer here with Inside Real Estate, the company that brings you your KV Core platform. And every time I teach a session, I like to create a little handy guide to something that you can take with you to refresh your memory of everything we talked about here. I usually include some helpful support articles, links to videos from our YouTube channel, anything that's going to help you if you try to implement the tips or tricks discussed today. So I'm going to go ahead and share this link out in the chat and I'll explain what goodies we have stored here. So pop in my guide in the chat right now for you guys. All right, so today's topic is lead generation posts to scare up some new leads. We've got some fun ideas. There's so many different, I feel like every holiday is an excuse to post your social media. It's an excuse to email or text, reach out to your contacts. It's an excuse to generate new leads. So always a great opportunity to get your face, your information out there in front of more people. So we'll talk about our different strategies. Step number one is going to be to plan our posts. I've got a lot of ideas here. Take one, take two, take all of them if you're feeling really ambitious, but probably one or two would suffice. For most of these ideas, we are going to build, I would probably recommend building a landing page through KV Core if you want to post it out and advertise it, because landing pages in KV Core, you really have a lot of options to design what they look like, choose the background, choose the custom text, and choose where that lead is directed to next. So if the resource is on your website, if the resource is a PDF, if you're directing them to a charity page or something like that, you can build that out with your landing pages. You can even include videos in your landing pages. So landing pages are primarily what we're going to be talking about today when it comes to using your free DIY lead generation in KV Core, but you can also create a quick text code to promote out these resources that you might be sharing. And never a bad idea as well, just on the topic of free lead generation, not a bad idea as well to create a couple squeeze page links that you can add to your messaging, that you can add to the bottom of a custom page or a blog post to direct those users back to other resources on your site. So always a way to tie them in. So we'll talk about free lead generation today. I always put a little challenge in here. I encourage you to take what you learned today and try it out for yourself. That's really going to help this information sink in if you're doing these actions yourself. Now, we're going to just be talking about these different strategies, and we're going to be talking about how to create lead generation posts to promote those strategies. If you want to get more advanced with it, I would recommend thinking about your next steps as well. So what kind of follow-up do you want to have? Do you want to follow up those new leads you generate with a smart campaign, a scheduled mass email? Do you want to put them on automation? Or does your follow-up require building something for your KV Core website, like a custom page or a blog post that you're directing your users to? So while I'll kind of mention that today, we'll probably do a part 2, a spooky special, maybe next Thursday, I want to say, where we might get into, if people are interested, of course, get into building a smart campaign or a scheduled mass email that will be kind of a follow-up message, even maybe a custom page that'll be a follow-up message to the leads that we generate. Feel free, if you're already experienced with this, to build one on your own. I'm aware, having them weeks apart, if you want to build this all today, I know we're getting close to Halloween. Totally encourage that, of course. But if you need little guidance, we'll probably talk about that next week. All right. If you missed yesterday's session, my fellow trainer Brett also taught a really fun webinar, just really quick and easy, how to update your website for Halloween. If you want to add some cute bats, add a spooky Halloween video to your background, we have a support guide on it. We also have a that video on YouTube. So I've included both in my helpful articles videos. I will put today's recording down here at the bottom. And then just one thing that I'll mention that's on this this guide here, I have a quick link to our Core Video Premium Challenge. If you have not heard about this already, just something I would mention, we are having a kind of a competition. You can get free access to use Core Video Premium in KV Core till the end of the month. If you're not already taking advantage of that and you want a quick and captivating way to grab your contacts, your leads' attention, I encourage you to try this out if you're interested. Core Video, if you're not familiar, we have a partnership with BombBomb that allows you to record a video on your computer camera with your computer microphone. So I'm just looking at KV Core on my dashboard. You'll notice underneath the lead, I can click Core Video, and I could potentially, record a video, send it out. You guys do have this as a free option. For free, you're allowed to send it out in an email. 10 different users or 10 different leads per calendar month is the free version. And the premium version usually goes for $30 a month. Again, if you sign up for the challenge, you get it free for the rest of the month. And the pro version is what allows you to send those videos through email or text or save them as a library so you can use them again and again. All right, so just something I would mention. And the challenge as well, there are prompts. If you want to participate in the prompts, you have the chance to win an Amazon gift card or a video bundle. So, all right, just wanted to explain why that link is there at the bottom of my guide. And of course, someone mentioned in the chat they want the Halloween website. If you missed yesterday's session, again, catch that video, or you can follow along with the support guide. Really up to you, whatever your learning style is. I think the guide itself is pretty self-explanatory, but if you want that extra comfort of having a trainer kind of walk through the process, you can catch that video. All right, so let's get started with our strategy for today, our plan for today. Now, we want to look at some different options for promoting our business for the Halloween holiday. So we'll talk about some different strategies that you could build use to build landing pages for, build other items on your site or within your platform. We'll walk through quickly how to build a landing page. We'll use one example, build a landing page. We'll build a quick text code. If there's time allowing, we might build a squeeze page. Less related to today's topic, but it's always helpful to have some squeeze pages on hand anywhere where you're sending messages to your leads or contacts. If you've got a newsletter going, a blog post, always nice to just sneak a little link there at the bottom of your message and just remind your users that they could go to your website to get a free home valuation, get a market report, and just have that link embedded there as a quick way for them to access that. It's also a good idea to plan some follow-up. So when you generate these leads, we don't want them just to sit in our CRM and not be nurtured. Now, if you've just got your smart campaigns, you've got your usual tools of automation turned on, you know that'll follow them up. But if you want to get more advanced, we'll get into that strategy next week. And we might talk a little bit next week as well about embellishing the website in terms of custom pages and blog posts. All right, so for strategies, if you grabbed my guide, I think we've had a couple people join us since we started, so let me share that guide in the chat one more time in case anyone missed it. I've outlined a couple strategies here. So for Halloween, for anyone who has an open house coming up soon or has a new listing to promote, there's always the idea of dressing it up for the occasion, make it your own haunted open house, or for something that's a little bit more family friendly, maybe a not so haunted open house. Now, encourage, when you're promoting out that open house, encourage your contacts, encourage your clients, whoever you're promoting to dress up. Offer to hand out some candy, add some spooky elements to your advertising and decor. That's probably a pretty easy, straightforward one. Might be one that's already something that's occurred to you if you have a listing available to promote. It's also a great idea and totally free to do to promote local events near you. It's always a good idea to share out to our new potential leads that we're invested in our community. So, do you know some great locations for haunted houses near you, for pumpkin patches, apple picking? Maybe you just want to use this as an opportunity to, promote a local fundraiser, animal shelters, food kitchen, Habitat for Humanity, any charity that's close to your heart. I know most of us probably think of charity fundraisers and things like that closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas, but it's never too early to promote that out. And especially in terms of things like animal shelters with Halloween. I know there's probably some black cats out there that could potentially be going through a scary time. So any excuse to promote it, I think is a great opportunity. So you could create a landing page that promotes this fundraiser that you're supporting. And of course, trick or treat locations, especially if you yourself are going kind of above and beyond to, maybe promote your business on Halloween night, maybe do some promotions for, or do a landing page that has links to trick or treat locations as you're familiar with. You could create a custom page on your website that outlines these, or you could just put it in a PDF or something. It could be someone signs up for best trick or treat locations. This would be a really great thing to share out on social media pages, groups. Think about people that have just recently potentially moved to your communities. Might be a great way to engage with them. So sharing out those locations, always an opportunity to post. And again, if you want to go and be above and beyond, if you're planning to be out promoting your business on Halloween night, maybe make your own sort of gift bags with some candy, of course, and something like your business card in there, and be present at one of those trick or treat locations and be prepared to hand those out. So just some ideas to throw your way. Now, contests, always a great opportunity to hold a contest. Now, This contest could be for best costumes, especially if you're someone who's specializing in getting families into their homes. It's a very family-friendly contest to hold. You could hold a contest for best carved pumpkins. Best home decor is a great one. And then you can use those photos that people are submitting and have those on your site. You can use those to post in social media, of course, get their permission. Now, for something like a contest, again, I might also recommend, in addition to creating your social media links or your lead generation links, like your landing pages to post, I would recommend building something on your website again to show off those photos and maybe give your leads, your clients, an opportunity to vote for their favorites. So you could create something for free, like a Google form that has the different options, and you could just have that link to the Google form on your custom page. So it leads them there to vote. So not only would you have the contest itself to post about, but you can also post out for, the weeks after. You could post out, okay, results are in, or you could post out, we've got a lot of participants, a lot of entries, click here to vote on your favorite examples. And you can kind of spread that out not only through Halloween, but for the weeks coming. So it gives you some posting content to add to your social media for weeks to come. DIY Halloween craft ideas or some recipes. If you know of some specifically that you've done or you've created with your family or are really popular in your social circles, feel free to share those out. But they don't require, you yourself to be terribly creative or someone who's a genius in the kitchen. You can easily find Halloween craft ideas and recipes posted online, even on your social media pages, things like TikTok, and you can share those out as well. Maybe, do a quick video of you taking your hand at it. Maybe post some examples. If you've got kids, encourage your kids to do some crafts and post out some of their examples as well. It's always a good idea to, show that you're engaged as well. You're not just reposting someone else's information, but you can, of course, do that. Don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel and create something entirely from scratch. You can always get inspiration online. And then last but not least, consider offering some spooky special offers. Always a good idea to promote out any sort of deals or special events that you're hosting. See if your lender or vendor or someone you recommend to clients is willing to get in on the fun, and have that as your excuse to kind of post out. So lots of different ways that you could take this. I'm sure you guys probably even have some more ideas, some more strategies that you've considered yourself if you've been in the business a while. But these are just some that I threw together for you guys. And let's talk about building a landing page for one or more of these ideas, if assuming we have time. So heading into kvCORE, we're going to head on over to the lead engine where you're going to find your free DIY lead generation tools, your landing pages, your squeeze pages, and your text codes. Now, text codes we'll talk about in a minute. Text codes, the idea here is someone is texting a code that you've created to your smart number in kvCORE. And when they text that code, you can decide what kind of follow-up message they receive. You can handcraft your own message, or you could simply link them to maybe a listing on your website, and that's kind of an automated response. It captures their phone number. It gets added automatically to your CRM. So that's a text code. Those are pretty quick and easy to build, so we'll save that till a little bit later. And I might even create a text code in addition to a landing page potentially. Now, landing pages and squeeze pages are both, text codes I'd probably put on something like you can't put them really anywhere. You could put it online as well, but text codes do really well on print advertising, things like your flyers, your sign writers, postcards, door hangers. Landing pages and squeeze pages, however, as with these, you're generating a link. Those are best posted online. You could put a landing page link on your print advertising, but if it's a big long link, you're probably going to get less people that are going to take the time to type that whole link into their phone as opposed to a text code that they can just text into their phone, and it's just a short and sweet code. So you can use these in addition to each other. So you could build a landing page and have someone text in a code that leads them to a landing page. So just some ways that you could tie that in. But again, landing pages, squeeze pages, best posted to your social media, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn. Sure, there's some way you could incorporate it into your TikTok if you wanted to. But the difference here, squeeze pages are really quick and easy to make. There's usually 4 main varieties. You're either creating a squeeze page that's squeezing those leads back to your website to either look at multiple listings, a single listing, you're directing them there to sign up for a market report or for a home valuation. Market report, multiple listings. Essentially, they're getting directed with a squeeze page. They're getting squeezed to the search page of your website. Mine's taking a little bit to load up. Apologies, folks. Now, the reason we're going to be building landing pages today is with a landing page, they're landing on what looks like a one-page website. And I gave an example earlier. This is just one for San Diego fixer-upper listings. And again, with those landing pages, you can choose what the background image is. You can choose what the text is. It doesn't have to link to your website, but you could have them linked to your website when they go to sign up. That's where we could redirect them to. So let's talk about some strategies. Now, landing pages. Once we're here in the lead engine, we're here at landing pages, we're going to choose our website domain and we're going to start building. Now, whenever building a landing page, we want to start with these options up at the top. You could start filling out your text if you wanted to, but make sure you answer all of these questions at the top before you hit save. You want to make sure everything is perfect before we save our landing pages, because when you save your landing page, there's no going back and editing it. It's pretty quick and easy to make a new one. So if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. But we don't want to save that until it's exactly as we want it. Now, I might even go so far as to recommend, when you create landing and squeeze pages, KV Core does save your history. So you can go back and you can view past ones if you'd like to. But if you're creating a couple landing pages or a couple squeeze pages that you're going to be posting out frequently for all of Halloween, I might even recommend, what I like to do is a little pro tip. If you're regularly posting to social media, or maybe haven't in the past, but you're trying to make a habit of it, might even be nice to just create yourself a little, blank Google Doc and add some notes for yourself. Okay, this link I'm going to post every Tuesday. This link I'm going to post every Thursday, and give yourself a little reminder about what they cover. That way it makes it really easy for you to make a habit of this. It should only take a couple seconds to grab that link and post it out. So just a thought. All right. Now, for this, I'd probably just use, our main lead generation landing page. All I did was I clicked on this first option, this drop-down menu on the left-hand side, and you can see the different styles of landing pages. So I could have a landing page that just displays a video and directs them to a page. If you're planning on using a landing page with a text code and they're already signing up with a text code, you could choose, not to require registration on your landing page. You could just do something that shows a video or, has some other information if you'd like. Video and lead. This would be a really great option for your haunted or not so haunted house items. So you type in at the top, not so haunted house happening near you. Click register below to get information about this open house. And then in these different text boxes here where it says drastic price reductions, fixer-uppers, free, distressed properties, you could put in, Halloween costumes encouraged, handing out free candy, or other food as well. Maybe mention that there's going to be a spooky playlist or, photo opportunities, something like that. So really promote that open house, and then maybe have a video of, the open house once you've got it all decorated, or, some video about you walking through the listing, and then encourage them to sign up. And you could direct them to that listing on your website, or you could direct them to, a custom page that has more details about the open house. You could also do something like, enter a text code. Now you could just add your text code separately or put your text codes anywhere you want. You could build a landing page for it, but I don't know that it's really necessary in this case. You could just build a landing or a text code separately. You can also build ones for capturing home address. Not really one that we're going to use in this situation, but if you are someone who's targeting more homeowners, looking for more sellers, just know that there are landing page options for that. And then there is also Facebook chat options. The example I always like to give for Facebook chat options is maybe you want to encourage first-time home buyers to chat with a professional real estate agent and ask their questions. You could share out this link and give them access to chat with you through Facebook Messenger. So that's an idea as well. But today, with our spooky options, we're just going to focus on lead generation. Keep it simple. Now, working again from the top left to right, hashtag. Now, if you're not familiar with hashtags, hashtags are the labels that you apply to your contacts and leads. It's going to make it easier for you to pull up those contacts and leads as a group in your CRM, more easily group them together. But hashtags are also going to be really helpful for you if you want to trigger some kind of personalized follow-up. So maybe you have some sort of spooky smart campaign that you build out that has special holiday messaging, and you want that to trigger as soon as the lead is captured. You can build those out and have them trigger by a hashtag you created. Again, we won't get into that today. We'll probably save that for part 2, probably next Thursday. But hashtag, it's a good idea to make this something memorable. So let's grab idea number 1 or idea number 2, promote local events. Let's promote local haunted houses. So I'm going to make a hashtag that's going to be memorable to me and distinct to this landing page. So I might do something like haunted landing. And that'll just be a reminder to me that these leads that were registered with this haunted landing hashtag in my CRM, well, they were sourced from this landing page. And again, if I'm taking notes, if I'm going to copy down this link to post out to my social media later, I'm going to remind myself that this is the hashtag associated, especially if I want to build out some automated follow-up for those leads once they enter into KV Core. We want to remember what that hashtag was. Submit button text. So this button here, we can change what it says. I apologize, we can't change the color, but hey, it's Halloween, orange, what better time to have an orange submit button. But it says see the list now by default. If I were to just use this page exactly as it is, offering real estate deals, I could direct them just to those listings on my website, and that would be fine as is. See the list now would also probably work in the case where if I'm offering them a link to my recommended or top haunted houses in my area, which I'm going to use the example. I'm located in California, so I'm going to use the example of San Diego. I'm offering, best haunted houses in San Diego. See the list now works. That might be what I'm directing them to. But maybe I want it to be, tie it in with the theme here. Click for click for spooks. Click for, haunted houses awaits. I could do, something clever, something cute. You don't want to make this really long because it's going to make a really long button. Do go back and check how that looks here. But you could type in whatever you like here. Think of something clever if you can. Now, URL after login. Now, this is optional. When they go to sign up and they click this link, we want to choose where they're being redirected to. And now, if I'm offering them best haunted houses in San Diego, I could technically direct them to a page for that. So haunted houses, there we go, in San Diego. I could technically direct them. I know sandiego.org always does a page about haunted houses and haunted trails. It is a good idea to put your own personal flair, put your own personal list together, and probably direct your users to that, to your recommendations, rather than just linking them to something they could find online. It's definitely going to carry more weight. You're putting your own personal spin on it. So really what I would probably recommend doing is creating a custom page for your website where you list out your recommended haunted house locations, your recommended pumpkin patch locations, your recommended, XYZ, whatever it is that you're recommending. So I would recommend building something like that. I could also, if I wanted to, if I don't have time to create another page on my KV Core website, I could create something like a PDF or a Google Doc that I link them to. So let's go to File, Document, and I would do something like, my haunted house pics. Now definitely dress it up a little bit with your font, add some images in there, but we could say, and make sure you have it shareable to anyone who's going to be directed there. And there we go. And you could copy that link. So when I'm building this landing page, that could be where they're getting directed to after they go and register. And maybe I put in, I could copy some information and then I would kind of reword it to my own specifications, add my own pics in there. So I probably wouldn't just, copy and paste the whole things. Of course, make your own changes to it, but this could get you started. So if you need a place to start, do some online research regarding your local area. All right, so we've decided where they're going to link to. After they sign up, they're going to get sent to that Google page. Or I could create, again, a custom page from our website that I link them to. If I had built a custom page, which I don't have one up here for Halloween, but pretend I had one up here, area specific information or something like that. Once I have it built and connected to KV Core, I just click on that link on my website and I would copy that URL and use that for my landing page. So hopefully that makes sense. We can maybe try to do an example of that when we talk next week about updates to your website and automated follow-up for your contacts. We'll kind of add that part in. Now, if you scroll to the bottom of this, you probably noticed it says it's requiring email. Doesn't say required, but they have to fill out an email here. And cell phone, it says optional in parentheses. So they do have to fill out an email. We made cell phone optional. This is the same way that your KV Core website works out. When a new lead goes to your website, they have just a couple of clicks before they're prompted to go and register. This is what the registration box looks like by default. And when they hit the @ symbol in their email address, it requests their cell phone number as a password. And it is layered in this way. We find that it produces the best results. Now they can continue with just an email. You can see I can continue even without filling out that cell phone number, but it's kind of subtle in the way that it does that. If they've already entered in their email address, there's a greater likelihood that you're also going to get phone information, but it doesn't prevent those that aren't willing from signing up. So at least you have something to get that conversation started. Now you can require a phone number. That is an option when you build your landing pages. I don't know if I would do that for something like holiday posting. You're probably not getting, again, These are online leads. You're directing them to your website. You're directing them to your page for reasons other than real estate. So these could be leads that you're generating, but chances are their timeline might be a little bit farther off. These are going to be long-term leads. You're nurturing them for a while. Since they're not being directed to your website for real estate purposes specifically, be prepared for the long haul. So we don't want to scare them away necessarily by requiring a cell phone. Having it optional gives you the chance that you're going to get that. And you never know, you might get some serious leads from this offer that you're posting. And again, you're getting exposure, you're getting in front of more users. Those users might know someone who's buying or selling a home that could lead to referrals. So we don't want to discount any leads. So requiring a phone number, it's optional. If you do require, or if you don't require a phone number, you'll probably generate more leads. If you do require a phone number, you might generate more serious leads. If you're posting about real estate information and it's something that they really, really want. For something like haunted houses in San Diego, again, our goal is not to get, we're probably not going to get anyone who's so desperate for your haunted house suggestions that they're willing to fill out a phone number, even if it's, well, it could be required. I'm going to go back and take that back a couple steps. The point is that it's a different audience that we're approaching in this sort of scenario. Hope that makes sense. All right. Background. Now, there are lots of backgrounds here. You'll find that they're all pretty much real estate related. You're not really going to find any that are spooky. So what do we do about that? We want a Halloween theme here. So we want to add in a custom background. If you didn't know, you could also add in an MLS image. So say on my website, say that this was my listing. I could go and I could grab the MLS number. I thought I clicked for information on that. Let's try again. There we go. I could grab the MLS number here, copy that. And when I'm building my landing page, I could click on primary MLS image, pop in the MLS number, and it would add that image as my background. So I could do that as well. But for Halloween, we probably want to do a spooky custom background. Now, for Halloween, or for custom background, I should say, it's going to ask for the background image URL. It wants that image to be hosted somewhere online. You'll notice there's not an option to upload an image from your computer. Now, I've got a workaround for that. If you guys haven't been shown this workaround before, if you head into KV Core, and anywhere where you do a blog post, you can go up to the top. Quick actions is usually where I like to grab it in a pinch. I can go to blog posts, or I can go to blog posts through WebIDX website blog. Either way, KV Core, when you create a blog, it allows you to upload your own photos. So let me go back. I did that a little quick here. So it took me to our WebIDX blog post page. I clicked on the green add post button on the right-hand side. And when I'm creating a post, which I'm not going to fully create a post in this scenario, but I'm going to show you, but when I create a post, I can insert an image, and here it will allow me to upload an image from my computer. So let's browse for an image. I think I have one saved. Hopefully it's not too large for this case. If not, we'll go and we'll download one real quick. But let's say that's what I want for my image. All right. After I've uploaded it from my computer, it will create a source code for me. It essentially, KV Core will hold that image and it will post it for me. So I can just use that link as my background image URL. So all I did, again, was I went and let me exit out here. I went to Quick Actions, or you can go to WebIDX. Either way, to go to your website blog page, and we can add a post. And without even creating a post, we're just going to upload a photo. We just click that photo icon, click upload, browse our computer for an image. So any Halloween image you've got saved, go ahead and click it, and that will, just host that image for you. It'll create an image URL. There we go. So we can go and we can grab that, and that's the link that I used in my custom page. So I just went to custom background, and that's the URL I posted in. So now we can see this is the image I saved on my computer. Very fitting haunted house image. So there we go. And we want to offer some information here. Now, we're just about done with the top options, so we'll be adding the text in shortly. There's one more drop-down menu I've forgotten to select. And just to the right of custom background, it says lead type. So what type of leads are we hoping to get from this landing page? Now, ideally, probably kind of buyers in this situation. You could technically say none. They will come in as a buyer by default. But really just whoever you were targeting. If I were creating a landing page, if I were using that option that's address capture, we're trying to capture homeowner addresses, then I'd be probably trying to capture seller leads. If I was making a landing page, unrelated to Halloween, but if I had made a landing page that was promoting rentals in my area, I'd probably be targeting renters. So that's all it's really asking here. Buyer is usually the default. Keep in mind, we've also got this hashtag so we can tell them apart from our true buyers in our kvCORE platform. So choose your deal type or your lead type there. And now we can go and we can edit our text. Your logo will appear up at the top. We usually want to keep that up there. You can technically double click it to remove it, but be aware that if you do double click this, you might not be in compliance with some MLS services. So do be aware if your brokerage or your MLS has compliancy issues, if your brokerage branding needs to be on that. In this case, I'm not really, while I am posting it through kvCORE, it's not directly related to real estate in any way. I'm okay to remove that. If I wanted to, I could leave that up there. For the rest of this text, same idea. If I don't need all of these boxes, I can double click, double click, double click, double click. If I just want to edit the text, I click once. If you accidentally double click something that you didn't mean to, and you haven't saved it yet, there isn't a way to necessarily bring it back, but you can totally reset the page by refreshing, and then you could kind of start over. If you added a lot of text in here, might be worthwhile before you refresh that page to copy and paste it maybe to another page or something, so you can just paste it back in rather than retyping everything you've done. So that would be kind of my recommendation there. And I'm going to offer something like sign up here for a free list of haunted houses in San Diego. And you could add some additional pieces of information there, your personal recommendations, gives out free candy, whatever the case may be. Feel free to put in some more information there. And when you've got it how you like it, just click that save button. So again, little reminder, if we're hitting save, we can't go back and edit this again. So want to make sure we're happy with our results. And once we've got that landing page created, you're going to be able to post that out to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. You will notice with these buttons in the left-hand corner, there's no area in kvCORE where you need to have these connected for this to work. If I click on the Facebook item, the only reason it's opening up my Facebook and allowing to share this in a newsfeed or story is because I'm signed into Facebook here. So whatever you're signed into when you go to click these buttons, that's where it's going to ask to post to. If you're not signed in, when I click on Facebook, it's going to have me sign in first before posting. So just something to be aware of. I get a lot of users that ask if that's required. All right. And then I would just put something in my post. Click the links below for my top picks. Um, maybe put a recommendation below, comment below your favorite haunted house or your recommendations, get a conversation going, encourage questions. You could put something in there. And if you're interested in some not so haunted houses, feel free to call or email me or message me directly for an open house walkthrough for this or that, for consultation. So keep it short and sweet, but we want to encourage participation. We want to write something that's a little bit catchy, and ideally, maybe add in some contact information or something there. So in some way, we want it to link back to us. That would be kind of my recommendations when you're building out a landing page. How are you guys feeling out there? Do we have any questions, comments, whether they're related to today's topic or anything to do with your KV Core platform? Feel free to chat it out. All right. Oh, Vanessa, I see that your hand is raised. How can I help you, Vanessa?
Hello, I have a quick question. When setting up, the black headline where it asks for lead generation, the hashtag, the title of the button, there's another button all the way to the end, right before save, where it says what type of lead would you like to create the lead type? Yes, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what if I want to have it for buyers and the sellers? Because I know it only gives me an option to just click on one, or does it matter?
Now, there is unfortunately a way to select both. That's actually a great call out. I don't know that I've ever had anyone mention that before. And that might be something, I know there's a lot of things that, I'm sure that we have users that have a lot of recommendations. We'd love to see
Yeah.
change in KV Core. Feel free to put in a product idea if you'd like. I would just kind of have a mental note that if you are targeting buyers and sellers, if you know after the fact to go and update them, because at this time you will only be able to choose one deal type. So it'll
Oh,
say in your CRM if they're a buyer or a seller, and you could go and you could update it. But at this time, there's not a way to select more than one. So I would just choose whichever one's going to be most closely related
okay.
to who you're
Or
trying to generate.
would you recommend putting none?
None, I'm not entirely sure why they've created none as an option. That was actually an update. To my knowledge, none should still default to a buyer because we don't really have an option not to have a deal type. Let's try it out real quick. But to my knowledge, they get signed up um, as a buyer if you choose none.
Okay.
Let's do plus testing insiderealestate.com. Let's sign it up. So all I did for you guys, if you were following along, I created a landing page. I chose none as the lead type, and then I signed up on the landing page. Let's go back to KV Core and see that new lead in my CRM and double check their deal type real quick. But to my knowledge, they should come in as a buyer regardless because every single lead in KV Core should have a deal type and they should have a status. And I may have used that email address before, so it might.
Do you want to try it out with
Uh,
my email?
sure, if you don't mind, I'd be
I'll type
happy
it
to
in the
do
chat.
that. All right, I will pop that in. Let's go back real quick to that landing page. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. So here's that landing page. Let's pop in a different email address real quick. See the list now. And let's double check it. Thanks for volunteering for that. I appreciate that.
Yes, you're welcome. Because I know I'm using KB Core for in behalf of my boss. I'm a virtual assistant, and I know
Ah,
she's really interested in having her leads as the buyers and the sellers as well.
mm-hmm. Feel like mine's loading just a little bit slow on that. So it says that they're signed in. That lead should be, let's also go and save a property real quick. It should already have loaded, but I think mine's just working a little bit slower. Is something to mention about those test accounts. Sometimes I feel like ours don't work as fast as yours.
No worries.
But do we have any other questions in the meantime about anything we've talked about today or anything regarding your KV Core platforms? Again, these Success Meetup webinars are open Q&A. It's here for you and whatever topics, questions are relevant to you. Oh, there we go. So we are seeing my new contact in here since I just added an email address. Her first name is part of that email address. She came in as a new lead and a buyer. So if you guys are ever curious about what that looks like when someone signs up through your landing page, we've got new lead and buyer. If I had, again, I just made that really quickly when I made that landing page, just for the example of, no deal type. So I didn't choose a hashtag when I built that, but if I had, you would also see in my CRM, her hashtag would be listed underneath her name. And then if we scroll to the right, we can see that she came in from a source of organic website. Your landing pages use your KV Core website. And the capture method is actually the link to that landing page. So to help you really determine where they came from, that's another way to help tell. Let's see, how do you capture people on the dashboard under valuation? So on your KV Core dashboard, you're saying if someone had, if it had said here, let's see, valuations, what that would require them to sign up through your website for a home valuation. So let's see, Veronica, are you in the US or are you in Canada? As long as you're in the US, when a user goes to the sell page of your KV Core website, it should allow them. Oh, you're in California too. Welcome to the California family. All right. But when you go to the sell page of your KV Core website, they should be able to enter their home address to sign up for a home valuation. And if they did that, you would see on your activity stream on your main dashboard that's what that lead did on your website. You did test addresses and it never put anything in there. Okay. Yeah, try it again. If it doesn't show up on your dashboard within, should be pretty instantaneous. You notice I had to refresh mine a couple times, but if after 24 hours it doesn't load there, I would definitely make sure to report that to our support team because, of course, if you generate any new leads, we want to know. Now, it should show any new activity here on your activity stream, whether they sign up for evaluation, for, sent you an email, if there was a showing request. I might also double check if it was a home valuation for an existing contact. I might also double check in your CRM, pull up that contact and, whatever their name might be, and double check on the right-hand side. If you scroll on down, double check if that listing valuation went through because they should have that. All right. So that was building a quick landing page to promote, our Halloween activities. Now, if I wanted to follow this up, I could also create, let me make this just a little bit larger. There we go. I could also go to my lead engine and very quickly, because I mentioned I'd talk about text codes real quick, we could make a follow-up text code. So we could promote those haunted houses not only on our website, but also in a text code. And we could tie the two together if we wanted to. So really quickly, should only take a couple minutes. I'm in the lead engine. We were just building a landing page. I'm going to build a text code real quick. So I'm going to click Get Started. And with this text code, you guys all have your default text code, which is going to be some variation of your name. You'll see that in the upper right-hand corner. Now, if I want to make this spooky themed, I'm probably going to create something different, a new text code other than my name. So I can add a new text code. You can have as many as you like. You may see, you will want your text code to be unique to your account. So it won't allow you to create the text code as another agent in your office if you guys are using the same smart number. And that just helps route any lead that texts your number, that helps route them to you, because the system can tell, okay, you've created that text code. So any leads that text that code should only go to you, even if you share a smart number. So just something to be aware of. So I'm going to go click add new, and let's create custom code haunted home. And I could decide, so this is going to be what my leads text in order to get this information, in order to get a text from me. They're going to text code haunted home. And I could, if I was just using this to promote my haunted open house, I could enter in the address or the MLS ID, and it would direct them to that listing on my KiwiCore website. But in this case, since I'm offering them information, I'm offering them a list of haunted houses, I would instead say something like, I would choose a message, and I would type my message out, and I would say, thanks for texting, or thanks for your interest. Here is a link to my top picks for haunted houses in San Diego. All right, and then I could just share out a link to that landing page. Maybe that's where I direct them, or I could direct them straight to the doc. The nice thing about the landing page is if they've texted the code, we've already captured their phone number. If I'm sending them to the landing page requires their email address. So I'm getting effectively both pieces of information. Do be aware if they don't enter their cell phone number again, you could wind up with two different leads. It might not know that they're the same lead. So in that case, you might not want to choose that. You might want to direct them just to your guide if they're already texting your code. So there's different approaches to it as well. Keep in mind that you could create a landing page that just shows a video and doesn't require sign up. So you could build a landing page for that. Maybe your video just promotes the haunted houses, or you grab from YouTube, go to YouTube, search, haunted houses, San Diego, or whatever area you're working in. And maybe that's the video you showcase there. So has a tie in, just a little teaser. It doesn't have to be directly related to all your top picks, but maybe you want to share that out. So there's different ways that you could do it. If you're more interested in capturing phone numbers because you want to send out text messages, you could do just a text code and not require sign up on a landing page. If you're more interested in emails, you could use the landing page, and a text code just as another way to send people to their information. So different approaches. Feel free to use both together or use them individually if you'd like. I will say, with new leads entering your system, you will be able to mass email them. And you could create something like a smart campaign, scheduled mass email to follow up with them. If you're just grabbing their phone number, they will have to subscribe to text message before you can send them out mass text. You can text each one individually, but if you want to automate that follow-up, I would definitely make sure you're capturing their email addresses. Just a personal recommendation. And then last but not least, give them a hashtag. You could have it be something similar if you want to keep the theme here. Haunted text. Maybe that's how I want to keep track of that. And then you just choose your smart number and add it. And then you could put that code on your print advertising. Just say something like text code haunted home to this number, your smart number. So text code haunted home to your smart number, and put that on your print advertising and share that out. All right, folks, we're over time. So easy to do. Remember from today's webinar, you want to plan your strategy. I gave lots of ideas in my guide. Feel free to implement your own. take advantage of those free lead generation tools. Build yourself a landing page, maybe a text code, do a combination if you'd like. We'll probably have a follow-up part 2 session for follow-up engagement after you capture those leads. What next? You can use the default automation or you could craft your own. So we'll talk about crafting your own. And we'll probably talk a little bit about maybe adding some interest to your page. Again, there was already a webinar done on decorating for Halloween, but we'll talk about maybe creating a custom page to promote maybe your haunted houses. And we'll talk a little bit about maybe also incorporating that in a blog post. All right. Thanks so much for joining me here today. And I wish you lots of success with your KV Core platforms. Take care.
Thank you.